Welcome back to all you Raising Ash trainers out there, and today we have a special feature with Trainer TV, who is going to play me, Raising Ash, and we got a great match going in our second game. Unfortunately, our first game was quite interesting, and as you will see me play, I am test decking. And this is the greatest thing about leagues, is going to the leagues and bringing your cards and really test decking the cards and sort of seeing what they're doing. I had never played this deck before. Matter of fact, only my son had played this deck before, and then I went ahead and picked it up and tried to play Trainer TV with it. And you guys can watch and see how I did with it. I think I got a lot to learn about this deck, and as you can see, I'm a perpetual big on shuffling. I love to shuffle. I think that is a key part of the game, is shuffling. And Trainer D TV, we were joking around because he double sleeved his sleeves, and I told him it was like, the boss calling you in and making you sit on the small chair. So I was sitting on the small chair, a little intimidated by his large deck size there versus my smaller deck size there, and he went ahead and rolled the heads, and I think I called that head, so I got to go first. Now, I based my decks off of some of the analysis I did online and sort of tried different things out to sort of see what I did. And obviously, I haven't played in a while, so obviously I'm going to make some mistakes there. And the mistake I'm making right there is showing him my first card and sitting around chatting with him, and we're just talking about it. He went ahead and mulligan there, and we're just talking about it. I think we're joking around at this point. I don't even know if he realized that I actually flipped my card up. But when you're sort of like, oh, there I go, I figured it out. I put it back down there. So when you're sort of playing in the league, it's very different from playing competitive. You're having a good time, you're having fun, and you're going back and forth with each other. I'm going to take my prize cards and set them down over there. And wow, look at the speed texting going on with Trainer TV. Now that is impressive stuff in the middle of it. Oh my god, he made it. He did it all that what was that? What was that? 5, 6 seconds? This man needs to stop his Pokemon play and go to the speed texting showdown for Verizon. I think they're paying out something like 10 grand for the fastest speed texter. That was impressive. That was impressive. Uh, so what are we doing here? I think we're just going back and forth. Again, I speeded up this video like I do all my videos. And I think he got a Pokemon there, so he's going to be able to flick. What he's running is he's got the Yveltal Gallade deck, which I really like. I have that deck too. I'm trying out the Entie deck. These are both top tier decks. I think the original Entie deck is a lot better than the one I'm trying out. I tried something a little different, maybe because I had a little nostalgia for the card. I played the card a lot, um, the Pyroar card a lot when a couple years ago, and so I enjoyed playing it, and I had a little nostalgia, so I played it just sort of see how it would do in these type of matchups. And I think it's just a good all around experience, sort of sometimes showing these decks and sort of seeing how they test out. Now he looked like he was playing um, the standard list to the Zoroark deck. I didn't see too many trick cards in his deck. It seemed like a pretty standard Zoroark Yveltal EX deck, and he plays it very well. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm gonna do some stuff, and I'm gonna Sycamore. And this was a mad thing because I had a Sycamore, and what I should have done actually is just waited a turn. Sometimes the impatientness of getting set up really eats at you, and because I didn't feel like I had the Entei in my hand, I wanted to get set up with the Entei. I shift my cards around a little bit, and obviously, as you saw me discard all those cards, I should have just passed the turn and let him go. Again, I would say that that's a rookie move I just made. And as I try and get set up, we'll sort of see how I fumble through the rest of the deck. So I finally get my Entei down, which was a big move. And as you can see, I have 4 cards in my hand. And when I pull my Entei down, Trainer TV is taking a look at it. I realized as I was going through my deck, I was like, I discarded my Shaman. Now, you saw me discard that Shaman off of it. I'd go ahead and put the double Assault Vest on him, and I looked down at my hand, and this is probably the biggest blunder I made of this game. And it's really good to show these type of blunders out, is not to get over aggressive with it, and sometimes it is just better to pass the turn, play the Shaman down, and just get a Pokemon on the bench so that the next turn you can go ahead and make, because he's not going to be able to evolve on the next turn. He would be able to possibly Floatstone retreat Zora into Yveltal, but I would have been able to probably evolve into Pyroar, which would have been great. But as I dwindled down my hand, I finally realized, hey, I did make a mistake there. It was a pretty massive mistake I made too. But this is the time to make the mistakes, is at the league challenges. Now he's going to go ahead and battle compress. And what he wants to battle compress is that Gallade, and he wants to throw in a Maxie's. There he goes. He's got the Maxie. He'll probably toss in a Dark Energy possibly if he wants that. Oh, he went ahead and judged. Now the judge is a good move because you can judge down to the next card. But as you can see, I'm already limit the hand, so he might need the judge at all for this particular play. And he sort of realized that, and it's a very smart play on him where he sees that I'm already limited on the hand size, and um, it really doesn't matter at this point. I'm actually going through my discard pile thinking, why was I so aggressive on that first move? And sort of blundering my way through it. So he's going to want to take that Ultra Ball, put down the energy, and probably discard, yep, the Zoroark. And he's going to play down the Shaman, I would assume, and draw up. And this is the type of move I could have actually handled if I just would have played down my Shaman, got the Pokemon on the bench, because I knew he was going to go into that. Now, he went ahead and chose the Yveltal. I believe he had another supporter in his hand at the time, so it was all right for him to do, because he's going to Sycamore out and take 7. So that was a great play, great move. That's why he didn't put the Shaman down, because he already had the Sycamore. He's going to be able to draw up 7. Now, he got quite a few different battle compressors, and I think I'm teasing him at this point because I've already looked at my hand and I said, oh, I think this might be a quick game. He's going to discard some of those battle compressors, pick up another Pokemon. He's going to want to play his Shaman down. He's going to take his Shaman and play up his hand to 6 again, hopefully hitting that Yveltal EX. Now, the card that he didn't drop into his discard was the Hex Maniac, which was actually really good for me, and I did catch that. He dropped the Judge in and not the Hex. Now, without the Hex, the Pyro deck can sometimes work its way through these things. Um, but again, it all depends on if I had the right hand in my deck. And unfortunately, I do not. So, at this moment, I'm just watching him play. And he's going to drop that Jirachi, drop that Shaman, and he's going to take 6 more. And what he really wants to get is that Yveltal EX going, or a Zoroark. So he's going to retreat back, which was a nice play. Now, this is where I could have kept my hand. He would have done 50 on me, which would have been fine. I would have upgraded into Pyroar, and I would have been off to the races at that point with a nice hand. But I was not. I had discarded my whole hand to get set up with an Entie, and I played the Blacksmith up, and I played the Blacksmith on the Entie, because that was absolutely the only move I had at that point, and I passed the turn. Now you could see showing some constraint at first turn is definitely a big deal. So now I'm going to watch him play a little bit. He's going to take the Lysander, which was a smart move, to Lili that up, and he's going to actually be able to knock out my Pyroar on the next on this turn. He's going to Trainer's Mail again, taking up 4. Pick up that Acrobike. He's probably going to want to. Oh, discarding, playing down that Acrobike probably. There he goes. 1, 2. Gonna put the Lili in. And then he's going to acrobatic again, putting the Gallade in, which is a very smart move. Now he's got the Ultra Ball in his hand, so he will be able to Ultra Ball some of this stuff out of his hand. The Lysander and the Maxis will go out of his hand. And he's going to want to pick up that Yveltal EX. He's going to play the Yveltal EX down. Now with the Yveltal EX down on the bench, he's going to be able to get some energy starting to attach on him. Now this was my chance to actually explode. If I would have gotten a good top deck, I think I would have been able to do something, but I did not. He played the DC, wisely played the DC down on the Yveltal EX. And he's going to play the float. And Sycamore. Now he's already draw up 7. So he takes his 7 up and passes the turn. So he knocks out Pyroar, Litleo there, and I go ahead and draw some more. I'm going to throw down a Litleo, and that's all I got. And I'm just laughing about it at this point because, wow, that was my blunder of the game. But I'm going to go ahead and play this game out. I think it's always important, even if you blunder, to play it out. If not, you're just testing. So you really want to give him a shot to run through his own deck and sort of see what his deck can do for him. So a lot of the times I try and help the opponent out because he's deck testing too, and he needs to see what his deck's gonna do. He's gonna super rod the cards back in, gonna shuffle up. He's gonna want to take that Zorok, evolve into that. Looking through his deck now. Looks like he has an unknown, so he can probably play that down on his bench. And yep, draw for a card, which is great. He's going to draw that Gallade he just shuffled back into his hand. Now he's got a great setup right here. He's going to Ultra Ball out that Gallade. Looks like he's decided to go ahead and fail the Gallade. And double DCE, which is a great move. And then he's going to Oblivion Wing for 50. And I think he does 20 on me. It's great. So at this point, I'm just praying for a top deck. I didn't get it. So just went ahead and Eco Arm. That's all I got. I'm going to throw back in any items that I have. Just toss those back in there, shuffle it up, and pray for my next turn at this point. I passed the turn, and it's his turn again. Went ahead and did another, I believe it's a Scorching Flame. That's going to do 30, and then I'm going to get resistance to 30. If he hits me with the DCEs, I'll have a minus 110 to damage. So he's going to play him up, retreat back into him. And he's going to do 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, minus 110. 70. I'm going to DCE. Unfortunately, that was the only move I had at the time, and that's probably the worst move you could possibly do. I'm going to do a 130 on him. And flip, and I did roll a heads. So it looks like I'm going to stay in a little longer. He is going to play down that other, he can play down that other DCE and just go for the knockout. There you go. And I believe that'll be the knockout to the Pokemon. And I went ahead and played Roar. Roar allows him to switch into it, and then he's going to retreat. And then he's going to float stone back. I told him that the switch isn't. I was teasing him at the point, and I was telling him I'll take that Jirachi. And but the way the war works is that the other opponent actually gets to pick the Pokemon. So he gets to pick the Pokemon out and decide which Pokemon he's going to bring up into the active. It works more like a um, not an escape rope, but more a switch for the other opponent. And he gets to pick it out. And that's how the roar works. So at that point, I really didn't have anything, but I wanted him to play out his deck and sort of see how his deck was running, which it ran really well. If you noticed, it ran really well. This next game's a little bit better of a game um, as we go through it, and I will be posting that up on the boards as soon as possible. Now, again, the thing I like to take away from this is that first draw when I went ahead and put down, there's a level of patience that I learned from this game that I need to have and to really utilize that patience during the games. So thank you for tuning in wherever you're at. You guys have a good one. This is Raising Ash out.